Ow!
You bite your tongue?
My cheek.
Hey guys, it's me, William. We went to Tokyo DisneySea one day. You can take the public transit in Tokyo to a line that almost drops you off right in front, and then you get on their little monorail system. One of the things that was kind of confusing early on is after you get off public transportation into the monorail system, there's a bunch of machines that look like ticket machines, but they're not ticket machines for Disney. They're ticket machines for the monorail that you ride a quarter mile to get to Disney. The whole thing kind of ticks me off a little bit. I think the monorail costs 2 or 3 times as much as what typical public transit costs in Tokyo, and it really doesn't take you very far. Yeah, it's totally a Disney thing to do where they charge a bunch of money just to bring you to the front of the park. The tickets for DisneySea are half the price of what you pay in the States. It was 7,400 yen or something. In the States, it's 120. Tokyo DisneySea is almost half the price. The park itself is pretty much exactly the same. All the Disneylands are kind of the same. What do you think, caretaker?
The same as what?
Well, it's just what you would expect from Disney.
Oh yeah, but DisneySea is very unique. I would say it's similar to California Adventure, but still unique in its own thing.
There's lots of boats.
It's DisneySea, so it's ocean themed, hence the name DisneySea, William.
Okay, that would explain the boats. There were big boats, really small boats, sinking boats, an airplane. I've never actually seen the movie Titanic. Fun fact. I think I counted upwards of like 700 boats.
Yeah, it sounds right. It's DisneySea.
I just made that number up, by the way. I just said 700 because it was like, there's no way there's actually 700 boats there.
There's a lot of boats.
Yeah, but 700 boats?
I don't know, but I think their food and drinks were cheaper than Disneyland.
Yeah, the food and drinks were way cheaper. And I think the most hilarious part of the food and drinks, at least where we ate in the little, like the sea, not SeaWorld, that's
it was like the Mermaid Lagoon. It was, I think,
Triton something? Triton? I don't know.
Yeah, Triton's Ariel's dad.
Oh, is it the buff shirtless guy?
Yeah, that's her dad.
It's fish themed, sea creature themed, and then all the food in there is seafood. I don't know. I mean, come on, guys. It's a little bad, right?
I'm not being,
yeah, but you're like, oh, look at all these cute little fish and scrimps and crabs, and then it's seafood pizza. It's dead shrimp on a pizza. Eat up, kids.
And scallops.
Yeah, and you're surrounded by little models of all these characters that you're literally eating. Kind of dark. Darker than I'd expect Disney to.
But the pizza was really good.
It was okay. There's 5 main attractions that we went on that we're going to talk about. Sinbad, Indiana Jones, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the Da Vinci Science Area, and Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh my God, you're disgusting.
Sorry. The first area we walked through was real New York. Look, they even have a real Statue of Liberty. Fake Statue of Liberty tricked you. They even have real sausages. Fake sausages tricked you. Anyways, New York was pretty cool. Toy Story Mania was the first ride we bumped into, but the line was insane. I'm all about rides, but I am not about queues. Check this out. They've got a ketchup and mustard packet, but when you snap it in half, let's see if I can do this, it can squirt. Oh no. You can squirt ketchup and mustard on at the same time. What the hell, America? Get your act together. This is freaking genius. Sinbad's Storybook Voyage. This line was 5 minutes long. I don't care what the ride is. If the line is 5 minutes long, I'm getting on it. The queue is okay. Sort of maybe more of one of the boring Disney queues. They do some pretty cool stuff, but here was just sort of pictures. I mean, it's a kid's ride. I don't know. They don't put a lot of effort into it because kids are easy to satisfy. We literally walked right up, got on. They told me not to film, and I was like, okay. But then I filmed anyways. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I had literally no idea what was going on. Everything's in Japanese, and you'd think maybe that's why I didn't know what's going on.
But the signs are in English. Like all throughout the ride, the signs are in English.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you were supposed to read them.
Whoops. Anyways, there was a lot of crazy stuff going on. Sort of early on felt like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a Small World, and then it just transitioned into lunacy.
I don't know
it was
why
like
you think it was lunacy. It was adorable.
It was insanity. Like I had no idea what was happening.
There was signs everywhere.
But it starts off in what feels like the Middle East, and then it ends up with like giant birds and bird eggs, and then at one point you're in a room full of monkeys and bananas, and it smells like bananas, and then there's a huge treasure cove, and then this giant green ogre. Can you explain to me what we were watching?
Sinbad's Sinbad's Journey.
Who's Sinbad?
The main character who was in every scene. William, you did not pay attention.
No, is this like a Disney thing though, or I don't remember this as like a Disney movie. It's like Aladdin, but it wasn't Aladdin. It kind of looked like Aladdin. I don't know. Either way, the animatronics super cool. I love like looking at the fluidity of the animatronics and how smooth they can move and realistic. And then thinking about how some of those mechanics have been running for hundreds and hundreds, or gosh, it's actually probably thousands or hundreds of thousands of hours. Calculate it really quick. How long do you think those animatronics have been running? What time do they open? 9 a.m. And they close at 9 p.m. Okay, I'm gonna be generous. 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, times 365 days a year, 30,000 hours a year. And if it runs for like 5 years, 153,000 hours that those animatronics are articulating like that. I wonder how many cycles too. It's probably in like the millions or tens of millions of cycles. This is gonna sound weird, but I would love to see the animatronics without their skin.
It is weird.
Okay, next ride we went on was Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Crystal Skull. Arguably my favorite of all the Indiana Jones movies. Just kidding, it was pretty bad. The first Indiana Jones movie is the best, but the fourth is definitely, let's just call it a trilogy. The ride was exactly the same as what you ride in Disneyland.
It's the same like ride, but the decorations were just different.
It was pretty much exactly the same.
No, but the decorations at Disneyland.
In the queue, you mean? The line.
Yeah, because the decorations at Disneyland are for, I think, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
The ride itself was exactly the same, just different, slightly different theming. But I think even the motions and the cars, like all the movements and paths were the same. They just stuck different stuff within the ride building. I couldn't really film a lot. It was still a nightmare and dark to try to record anything. But they did like the arrow tunnel and like the Beatles crawling on the walls and stuff.
And then the classic.
Oh yeah, the classic at the end with Indiana Jones gets chased by the giant ball and he's all out of breath at the end. Oh God, I'm too old for this. He looks pretty exhausted. I look traumatized. Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Crystal Skull. I'll give it like a 8 out of 10. It's a pretty classic Disney ride. It loses a couple points though for the Crystal Skull aspect, so I don't know, 6 out of 10. What do you rate it, Caretaker?
Well, I'm rating it based on the ride itself, and that it's the best ride. I'd say 9 out of 10 for the ride.
And now we've got 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This ride, let me tell you,
William was really excited for this.
Yeah, it's much cooler on the outside than it is the inside, which I think is kind of sad and hilarious. Either way, you get something out of it. It just comes before you actually get on the ride itself. If you could like explore the outside, wait in the queue, and then just walk away, that'd be, whatever, fine. There's this grotto kind of thing. I don't know if I'm using grotto correctly. There's a huge pool and like submarine and all sorts of kind of steampunk technology. I love this sort of decoration. Disney does a really, really good job making you feel like you're in a different world. And this ride was incredibly unique. It's so wildly different than anything I've ever seen at a Disney park. The queue, the ride line for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was definitely the coolest part of the ride specifically. They had some cool diving helmets, which, no spoilers. Well, actually, now I'm spoiling it. We're gonna try to make a diving helmet. The ride itself is pretty dumb. The coolest part of the ride is the fact that you're not underwater, but they make you feel like you're underwater. And I think I watched something a while back that shows how they do it, where the window itself is like a thin kind of aquarium, is not the right word. There's two panes. There's water flowing between them, and they shoot bubbles through it. So it feels like you're underwater. You're actually completely above water. It just feels like you're underwater, and that's really flippin' cool. There's a little joystick to control a light. I don't know. It really was kind of a huge disappointment. Now I know how my parents feel. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I would give it a 5 out of 10. Most of the points are coming from the queue and the ride car itself. The ride car is just too cool. What about you, Caretaker?
Yeah, probably 5 out of 10.
Wow, we finally agreed on something.
Just because it was also kind of shorter than I was thinking.
It was short, but it just, how much longer could it have gone on? It was boring as hell. Okay, now we're at the best part of Disney Tokyo Sea. Tokyo Disney Sea. Wow. The Da Vinci Science Center. I first walked up and saw the Da Vinci flying machine. That's kind of why I walked up there, and I'm like, this is sort of dumb.
Ornithopter existed only in notebooks of Leonardo da Vinci. We here in the Society of Explorers and Adventurers have undertaken to transform this here forth, dream and make it reality.
And then I realized this is actually the coolest part of the park. What I don't get is why they don't do more science stuff like this at the other Disney parks. It's literally a small science museum or demonstration. I don't know if museum is the right word, but they had stuff that the Griffith Observatory has in LA, were like cool demonstrations of the Earth movement with a giant pendulum. This massive, not pinhole camera, do they call it? Camera obscura, where you can crank a handle.
Chelsea, could you turn the mirror for me?
To rotate where the mirror is facing to project a different image onto this screen in the room. I mean, come on. It was cool, right? Do you agree with me?
Yeah, it was really cool.
There were massive queues for all the ride lines and no one at the coolest part, which I guess is good for us because I got to really explore. There was some kind of weird, stupid, like alchemy, chemistry stuff. I don't really understand that. But look at, there's a giant planet thing. You can crank the handles and move the planets. In this mirror, I don't even know what this is called, but it's a mirror that's really round. And so when you put a round image in front of it, it kind of re-projects it as a flat image. I think I just totally botched how that actually works, but you can get an idea by looking at the video and figure it out for yourself instead of me trying to figure out the correct way to explain it. And then there were cannons where you could pull the fuse and it sort of just goes.
I think we just killed like 15 people. Sorry.
Then we went and bought the official American YouTuber in Japan hat.
Yeah, I like your hat.
Hey, you found a twin.
Final ride of the day is Journey to the Center of the Earth. This was my favorite queue. The ride was okay. I give the ride like maybe a 6 out of 10. It was kind of like Thunder Mountain Railroad. The queue, oh my God. The amount of work that goes into theming this place is amazing. Every time I walk through a queue like this, it makes me want to be on the team that gets to decorate and create all the cool time period-esque science and steampunk. None of it really has to work too, so you can just make it look super awesome. I wish there were more moving parts, but remember earlier when we were talking about how much these parts move over their lifetime, I think it makes it difficult for it to survive a long time. I think this is a good way to get kids excited about science, because it's not like real science, it's kind of fake science, but oh boy, if I was a kid walking through this, which I definitely was a kid at one point, and I definitely walked through queues like this at Disneyland. I mean, look how cool this stuff is. If that doesn't make kids excited about doing science, I don't know what does. The ride was okay. There was this kind of lava monster, and
Well, the roller coaster was fun.
the roller coaster was fine.
The roller coaster was actually really fun. I just wish that it would have done maybe like 2 more loops. Like,
Oh yeah, maybe that's why I feel like it was kind of lame, because it lasted like 30 seconds.
yeah, so you go through and see all the cool stuff and it was kind of cruising and then it really goes. And I just wish it was maybe like the roller coaster going fast was like 3 times the length.
It was cool. It's kind of short though.
I give Tokyo DisneySea 6 or 7 out of 10. The theming brings it to a 7. That's great. 7's good. I have weird standards.
I don't know. I feel like 8 out of 10. I wouldn't say it's my favorite out of all of them. Like I probably would have to go with the, original Disneyland. This was really fun. I would definitely go back.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Caretaker. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time when we review Disneyland North Korea.